our last game of the night in StarCraft PH replay casting session number 4. It's been a very fun one with some really good games and a very interesting end to another that we shall never speak of ever again and hopefully just erase from the annals of existence. Introducing our players first here on the bottom right, we do have the red Protoss that is Lambanog and his opponents. Here in the top left, it's going to be the blue Terran that is Falcon. So both players are of the diamond rank as of this game. And Lambanog, as we talked about before, he is a very cheesy player. He likes being very wily with what he does. He likes being full of antics. And I've seen multiple cheeses here from Lambanog. The latest one was the proxy robo facility with the Immortals just able to get the trade against the Cannon Rush. And I do enjoy the change of pace that Lambanog brings to the table. He shows everyone that, hey, you can play StarCraft in a different way, play StarCraft in a more fun manner. Sure, it's not going to be as successful consistently, but hey, it's my game, and it's what I want to do with it. And remember guys, StarCraft 2 is free to play. If you do want to get into it, just download the clients. You're going to be able to get started into this one. It does come with one campaign as well, and a few games before ladder unlocks. So you know, it just makes you really learn the matchups, learn how to play the game before it thrusts you into the rank ladder system. It also gets rid of smurfs in that manner, and it also allows you to play a few co-op commanders without having to buy them. Scratch that, you can actually play all of them, but there's a level limit except the first 3. Which is a really good way to go about things. It lets you try before you buy, and if you really want to play into the better scenes, into the higher tiers of any kind of things, well, there are always ways to purchase something to support the game and support the scene. Anyway though, let's talk about the game. Falcon right now going for a 2-base scenario, Lambanog doing the same. It was a pretty safe scout there from Lambanog. He saw that the command center was coming online, but while the SCV can go for the build at the same time. In the meantime though, Lambanog is playing this a little more standard than we would expect. He's setting up his buildings on the cliff to make sure that the Reaper cannot get the scout. But it seems like the Reaper going to be going for the path that is mostly traveled, and usually you don't expect this from a Terran player. You want to find the cliffs, but Falcon realizing, hey, the front door is wide open, and the Stalker right now from Lambanog just in time. So if you have the Zealot, of course, oh, did he just hit his own Nexus? But yes, if you have a Protoss Zealot instead of a Protoss Stalker to try and defend against the Reaper, we're going to be in for a bad time because that's going to be all about the kiting. It's going to be all about the cluster bomb to just throw you off and allow the Reaper to really put a hamper on your middle row line. In the meantime, Lambanog going to be setting up this robo facility, went for the Twilight Council as well. So it seems like it is going to be more of a gateway focused composition here from Lambanog rather than going into the robo to start things off. Now this does mean that Charge Lot is going to be a big focus of his offense. Can go for the Zealot Archon, but with the robo facility into play, if this isn't just going to be for War Prisoners as well, Immortals are always a good mix in terms of that unit composition. Anyway though, Falcon sending another Reaper on in, just being a pest, and it gets the same treatment as Stalker. And you get that takedown. This time, Falcon looking to try and play that macro game. He does have that barracks and does go for Marauders, a biological approach here from our Terran player. Looking for infantry, looking for boots on the ground, and this is a very cost-effective way to go about things. Marauders are quite cheap and pretty strong in the anti-armor matchup. A Marauder can actually beat a Stalker given the right conditions. With 125 HP and grenades to boot, well, that is going to be an easy matchup for basically a fraction of the cost. In the meantime, 4 gateways now here for Lambanog. Made that actually 6 of them with 1 robo facility. A very optimal way to count those buildings for any Protoss player is you want to have 4 production buildings per Nexus. So now he has 7, he should be able to keep up in the economy. And here we go with the Warp Prison. We were expecting this from the robo facility. Not going to go for the Immortal focus. Going to be trying to get more and more of these gateway units at a higher tier. In the meantime, seems like Falcon has decided I'm going to try to set my defenses up and also go for an expedition force. Hi ho, off to the woods we go. The purple tree is going to be giving them the creeps and the jitters, and at the same time Lambanog gonna be completely getting away on to the other side. In the meantime, oh sure, send me an invite. I'll check that out. As Lambanog gonna be here on to the eastern quadrant. I'll be trying to find a way to get into Falcon's riches. And the nest gonna be rustled into this one. Here we go though with the Marines and the Marauders yet again. Falcon right now looking for a third base that doesn't exist. And the Terran waiting at the wrong spot. Because here comes the Protoss already. Charge lots out in front. Proper attack here from Lambanog. It will take a while for Falcon to actually bring in reinforcements. And it seems like a base race is in order instead. Now Lambanog can still defend this if he goes for the warp cycle there. But he might also commit to try and win the fight in a base race scenario. He has the warp prism still into the field. And if he goes for the pilot mode right now, it is going to be an optimal way to use those warp gates. Never mind though, the Artosis pilot falls. And the gateways in behind. Going to be in trouble next. Probes though falling apart. And Falcon trying to fight for his life with a good pull of the probes, of the SCVs rather. Zealots trying to fight for their lives, trying to go and survive, but this round gonna be enough to whittle them down. In the meantime, it seems like Lambanog has decided to go for the defense. Zealots charging on and just to die. The impact not gonna have any more damage. It's more about that speed burst, and this is looking really dicey here for Lambanog. Can he survive as more and more of these pylons going down? Nothing gonna be powered in this instance. But luckily for him, he has the Zealot in behind, and this is what the recall is all about. Engagement happens yet again. Stimp back on in right now from Falcon to try and sustain the damage. So it's still staying on the eastern side, and here we go with the pull as well. Both sides really tossed into their respective corners. And it's looking really dicey here for Falcon right now to stay alive. The Stalker gonna be enough to mop the floor. Probes really trying to take some revenge. And in the end, a little bit of a reset here for both sides. 13 workers versus 15, but the Terran does have the advantage of getting orbital commands to drop down those mules. We'll see if Falcon can work with that and rebuild faster into the next moments of this game. Pretty dicey scenario. You can really see that these two guys are pretty evenly matched. Good notice here from Falcon to spot out those pylons, shut down all the means of production. And Falcon showing that he truly is the predator of the skies. With boots to the ground, with those Marines and Marauders getting some pretty efficient work done. I feel like Falcon was hoping to get a starport in time just to get some medevacs for further sustain. We can't always have what we want, and Lambanog right now looking a little drunk, trying to build onto that main base even more. So Falcon deciding, hey, I can play it defensive. I can make sure that I can get enough economy from one base. Using what? 2 orbital commands. Mules can get rained down like candy. A very efficient way to actually saturate your base as well. Double pumping out those SCVs. Falcon playing on this high ground, defending his nest, defending his roost, and really trying to keep the skylines cleared by this point. Marauder now gonna go on the inside. And what is Lambanog gonna be up to by this point? The reset here on both sides, but Lambanog is really struggling to rebuild compared to Falcon, who is shown industry is truly in his favor. Nightshade, not the largest map, not the smallest either. It takes a while to get across. It's a very straightforward path, and it reminds me a little bit of Triton, where the high ground advantage is pretty key. You can set up ambushers on top of those ramps, on top of those hills, and just rain bullet fire down using the Terran infantry. But I digress. It seems like Lambanog has decided what he was gonna go on. We were thinking about this earlier on. Archon's a very easy way to deal with mass infantry. It doesn't even need micro. You just go for the A move, they tank things up. And if you can get the damage done, it's gonna be psionic shockwaves going for the splash damage. Another way to go about things is the High Templar, but with Stim back online here for Falcon, Archons are a pretty safe choice to actually go for the fight. Because with the Psionic Storm, sure, they tear infantry apart like candy. But at the same time, if the stutter step happens, if the Stim back gets on the way in time, there's an easy way to get this around. The Lambanog right now going for the coup de grace, going for the kill de gros. The killing blow right here, right now. Sees the natural. Already shuts it down before anything else happens. Marauders on the inside. Those bunkers protecting the beefy brawlers here. In the meantime, seems like Lambanog is taking control of every part of the map. Now the Warp Prism to try and lift things up. Archons can potentially get dropped down here and now. An easy way to go about things, but unfortunately Lambanog cannot load those units from below. Finally gets the angle and does so. It's going to be funneled on in Congo line to try and get to the high ground. Lambanog using the map to his advantage. Good notice of the Warp Prism range as well. And as SCVs are pulled, this is going to be the Protoss showing his might, showing that he can tear things apart. And with the Zealots just cleaving their way to victory, just charging on in for the glory of Ire. Lambanog is truly quality here. No cheese this time. A very efficient micro play, a very efficient macro play from our Red Protoss, able to decide at the last moment to defend, able to decide that he can win with the army he has in tow. And that is gonna be game, set, and match. Lambanog taking the victory. Falcon trying his best with his infantry, but just couldn't sustain without the medevacs. The cliff also working out in favor of Lambanog. The Warp Prism truly is a versatile unit, and it really is the crux of any offensive for a Protoss player. If the Warp Prism gets blown up, that is going to be no more reinforcements, no more antics on the cliff, and it takes a while back to get it reinforced. So well done there to Lambanog, a pretty even fight for both of our players, and a pretty solid way to end this session.